Hi everyone, Michelle here. Gonna make a couple of shaker cards today. Some really easy shaker cards using the Altenew halftone circles stamp set. I'm gonna use some distress inks to stamp the background and turn them into shaker cards. I'm going to use pink and yellow on one background and blue and yellow on the other background. I'm just leaving the stamps in my stamp platform, and then when I get ready to do the yellow color, I'll just flip the card around so it's upside down, and then that will offset those circles a little bit and plus give us a little bit of an overlap. Kind of a cool effect. As usual, all of the supplies can be found either on my blog at ladymichellecreates.com or in the description of the YouTube video. Okay, so now I'm going to use my A2 layers die set, and I'm going to cut down the background panels that go inside the shaker card, and then I will also use a couple of those dies to create a border that will go on the front of the shaker card portion. It's what the acetate will actually glue to. So I'm going to use some holographic cardstock and some vellum to cut my sentiments out of. And then I'll also use some of the 110 pound Nina to cut the sentiments out for stacking them up to make some dimension. I'm using my tiny little tip on my art glitter glue there. Super precise. A tip for the tip. If when you're done working with it for the day, I keep a pin in it during the day while I'm working. If I'm going in and out of my craft space, then don't have to worry about it drying up. But then at the end of the day, when I'm done, or if I know I'm not going to use it for a while, I will take the tip off of the glue and I'll just throw it in a little container of water to keep it wet. And that seems to help me with the battle of keeping the tiny tip clear. It's a little bit of extra effort, but it's certainly worth it. Okay, now I'm going to make the shaker portion of the shaker window portion of the card. And I'm using some acetate that I got in a pack from Michael's. It's a cricket material. Use it to cut things out of cricket, but it's neat because it's got like a plastic covering on both sides of it, so when you store it, it doesn't get all scratched up and dusty and dirty, which I really liked. And it was sort of inexpensive because I won't be using a ton of it. So I think it was like $9 for 8 or 10 sheets, and the sheets are 12 by 12 inches, so it'll last me a really long time. So I'm just gluing that acetate to the borders and the little frames. Just prepping the card bases by scoring those at 4 1/4 for side folding cards. And now I'm just going to tape on my background. That cardstock is cut at 4 inches wide by 5 1/4 inches tall, and then that gives us a little white border all the way around. I'm going to use the skinny tape from Doris. It's just little skinny strips, and that's what I'm going to use on these borders to pop the shaker windows up. I'm going to use 2 layers on both cards. Okay, so now let's create the actual shaker portion of the card. I'm going to use seed beads and sequins. I have a lot of seed beads from back in my jewelry making days. So I went into my stash and I pulled out some colors that I thought complemented the background. And I'm just spooning those onto the background. The hardest part of this whole process is keeping all of the little bits and pieces in the center of the card. So if you've got a little bit of patience, take it slow, should be fine. After removing the backing paper off of the foam tape, I'm just going to center that over the top and closing all of the little bits. And you can see how pretty that is. It's all sparkly and shimmery. And then I'm going to glue my sentiment down. And you just want to make sure that you put the glue on the white part of that so it doesn't show through the vellum. Don't want to get any glue on the vellum. Just playing with the placement a little bit. And my goodness, who wouldn't have fun getting that card in the mail? And I'm going to do the same thing with the blue and the yellow card. I just, like I said, picked out sequins and seed beads to complement the background. And I thought, as I was making this card, actually, I thought this would be a great card for New Year's or graduation. I don't have a graduation cap die, but that would be a great thing to do too. So that's it, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Hope you enjoyed watching me make these cute little cards, and I will see you next time.